Good morning. It's time to go back home. Gotta leave the cozy cabin. Just spent the 2 nights here real quick. Worked on that breaker box yesterday, replacing it, and we got our truck sitting right out front here with the trailer hooked up. It's backed into the spot and still charging at this point. And it's been rainy all along, so but what the heck? Today is the day. We gotta get back home, and I wasn't sure which way we should go, if we maybe should try the southern route through Lima, but when I put it into the navigation to go home, it actually chose the route we came, which I think is the better way because of the trailer. The southern route would be interesting, and I would done it, but yeah, it looks like mountainous and lots of turns and curves and things, and with the trailer, that is not necessarily the way to go. So I guess we're going back the same way. We're kind of topping off the truck. We'll see how far up we can get it. We probably have to stop in West Yellowstone just to be on the safe side, and top off in West Yellowstone before we go up to Bozeman or Belgrade. We'll see. It should be a elevation drop from here to Bozeman, so it should be relatively efficient going that way, but we'll see. So, well, we gotta get packed up, cleaned up here, get loaded up, and get going. We only came up to 93% because I forgot to set the charge limit to 100 last night. I scheduled the charging for 6 a.m. and there would have been enough time to get 100%, but well, I switched it this morning. So we are at 93%. It will be over an hour, but we don't really have time for all this. So we're planning our trip home, and our trip home here gets us first to West Yellowstone and says we have a 30-minute stop right there, and West Yellowstone is about 30 minutes from here or so, about 30 miles, and then we'll top off. We probably have breakfast there. We haven't had breakfast yet, so we'll plug in and eat something, and then we'll make it up. Actually, it says going straight to Butte right now, so we'll see where we're at in West, and but we probably top off a little bit in Belgrade or something. We probably need a break there anyway, so we'll see. But at this point, I guess we are ready to go. We got pretty much everything loaded. I'm gonna show you real quick what I have in the back. Not very much, but I really like the tonneau cover that's powered. That makes it really easy. So yeah, it is 9:18. It is 41 degrees out right now, and I have to unplug and lock up the cabin, and off we go. I'm going to show you real quick what we have in the back. There's not very much there, but we're still towing the 5,500-pound trailer back there. So this here is all we got in the back. Not very much. This is the spare for the trailer, actually. Got some other stuff here, not very much, but this stays pretty much watertight. There is a little bit of water that came in at the front corners, and I don't know if that came in during the rain while driving with the cover closed or as it opened, but it's pretty neat. And the press of a button will close this up, and it took me a little bit to figure this out here. Some people said a long press, or then if you keep pressing it, it will just go as far as you want to, and then you stop letting go. But it's a double click button, so a light click is actually just as far as you want to go, and a full press all the way down will open it all the way, just like basically the automatic windows, no different. So all right, well, unfortunately we can't open the tailgate because of this. Pretty much the camera will hit the jack right there. So all right, it's time to unplug, coil the cable up, put it back on the power tree here, and off we go. Made it to west with 63%. That is about 10% less than what it predicted, if I remember right. It is 10:01 and only 37 degrees over here. I did not preheat the truck at all, so it was cold. That used more. Also, the speed limit coming over here is 65, and unlike on the way here where I drove 60 on the interstate, I actually went 65 this time, even with the trailer behind us. Let's look at the trip here. So we drove 29 miles to get here, took us 37 minutes. We used 36 kilowatt hours at an average of 1,222 watt hours. And that is, well, this is since last charge. I did reset the trip probably about a half a mile or so too late, as always. Actually only about, yeah, it still shows 29. But you can see here, if we don't have all the maneuvering and crawling out of the parking and going down the road to the main road at the cozy cabin, we're actually doing a little bit better here at 12:07. So, but it used a lot because, yeah, going fast. It's a little cold out, so the heat's been going. Like I said, I did not preheat it, so I'm going against all the rules here. And so now there's multiple options. I put in here a Supercharger Bozeman, and it says we could get there with 22%, even without charging here, right? So it's kind of interesting that it would do that. It would send us charging here and then to Butte. We could also go to the Supercharger in Big Sky. That's another option. We would get there with 37%. So these are all on the way, and there are different ways to get here. We could go over to Lima, whatever. There's so many different ways. So, but since it is 10 right now, we decided to actually stop here and have some breakfast. The other option was, like I said, Big Sky or Bozeman for breakfast, but that would be more lunch. So we decided to stop here, and I'm gonna plug in here and we go eat in the meantime. I'm not sure how long that's gonna take and where we're going to be at in regards to charge. Probably close to 100%, so we shouldn't have a problem at least making it to Belgrade, just outside Bozeman, maybe even all the way to Butte, because it is a downhill now, so it is not an uphill battle anymore. But well, now it's time to plug in and go for breakfast. And since we have the doggy in here, we obviously use dog mode for the doggy. He's back here in the cage under there. Nobody can even see him or anything, but we'll keep him nice and toasty so that he is comfy in here while charging. Back from breakfast. We had a nice breakfast just right 2-minute walk from here, so that's really cool here if you ever come to West Yellowstone. I mean, things are kind of right here at the end where the Supercharger is, are these motels or hotels and resorts, but you just walk down the road this way and you're right in center of town, and everything is right here. The visitor center is right here at the intersection, so it's really easy to get to that. And then across the street there's shops and restaurants and all kinds of stuff, and it's all walkable here, so really cool. But well, let's see here. We are at 99% and it says calculating, and it's been saying that for a while. I looked in the app about 10 minutes ago or 15 minutes ago, and it already said that, so it's kind of unusual. I only experienced that before, mainly in our Tesla Model S, the 2013 Model S with 200,000 miles on it. where it takes really long to get from 99 to 100 while it's balancing or equalizing the cells. Yeah, so it's a little unusual with this new truck. I would have expected this to go a little faster, but I guess maybe because of the 4680 cells that makes a difference or something. I'm not sure. It is still going here at 4 kilowatts. So commonly when it is at that stage on like the Model S or even the Model 3, it's only like 2 kilowatts, so it still goes a little bit higher. But anyway, let's see here. We could go many places now. Let's do this. And oh, where is Butte? Where is Butte? There is Butte. Let's do Supercharger Butte. So obviously it's 0 minutes and we should get to Butte with 19%. So, and let's see here, where does it take us? Interesting. Let's see here. There's Butte. We need to go to the other end. Here we go. There we go. So it actually takes us back over the pass. So you can't even see that. It takes us back over the pass towards Island Park and then up this way. This is a little bit, oops, this is a little bit shorter route than going this way, up and over. But it's it's interesting because we got the pass there. Here we have no pass, so we may be more efficient going the other route. And so this is the usual route here that we usually drive, and there is no charging anywhere there. So that is kind of out in the boonies. Yeah, no charging there. We would have to detour out to Virginia City, which is so here is Ennis, and then Virginia City is over here. We would have to go over there. There's a level 2 charger there, but other than that, there's really nothing there on this yeah, on the stretch of road there. And so my intention is more going up here, going up 191 towards Bozeman, and then so we can come up here and hit up here and hit Belgrade up there instead of Bozeman, and then take I-90 over. It's a little hard to see here. And then take I-90 over to yeah, come up here. So my intention is more to let's see here, come up this road here, 191, and then come up here, Belgrade area, and then go over to Butte here, this way around. There I have more options. There's Big Sky, that's halfway up to Bozeman. There's a supercharger there. Then Bozeman, Belgrade, we got a supercharger, and then obviously Butte, we got a supercharger. So we could just blast through there without having to worry about efficiency at all, while going up or going the way that it says right now. We may have to be careful and watch out and go slower. It will add about 45 minutes to an hour going through Belgrade there. So it is a longer trip. So, but I think today, with having the trailer and we want to get home safe, and really don't want to push the extremes on this trip, we'll do that some other trip. So I think we're just going up 191 the way we came down, and then we also kind of get a comparison to when we came here, and now going back we can see how the efficiency is on the way back. So then we have a better comparison. Anyway, it's still going here. It still says calculating, still puts 3 kilowatts in. It's kind of odd, but I think we unplug and get going. Now that I unplugged, it shows 100%, so well, that's all right, I guess. And I chose Belgrade Supercharger. It says we should get there with 61%. I got my doubts about that, but well, let's get going. we are halfway up. We started down here, now we're here. We gotta go there. 64%, it's 12:06 and 40 degrees out. And we need a bathroom break. Not the truck needs charging, so again, the human needs the break before the electric vehicle. So yeah, just a little update. Let's look at the energy consumption here. So for the total trip, we're at 1029. Since Yellowstone, West Yellowstone, we're at 922. So we're doing pretty good there. Going kind of downhill-ish towards Bozeman, Belgrade there. Made it to Belgrade Supercharger, and let's see here, it says 25 minutes before we can continue the trip. We need at least 21%, so we could come in at 0 in Butte. So the navigation ain't so accurate necessarily with the trailer on it here, but since we kind of know what to expect and we're playing it safe, it's really not such a big deal. But let's look at this here. Since last charge, that is in West Yellowstone, we drove 89 miles, used only 72 kilowatt hours, and we were cruising at 802 watt hours per mile. That is pretty cool. Now it gets even better. The current drive from the stop at that gas station there was 42 miles to here. The duration was 59 minutes and we were at 665 watt hours per mile. So wow, that is amazing. So we're doing pretty good. We'll plug in, do bathroom break, walk the dog, and go from there. All right, 25 minutes remaining, only 160. Oh, there we go, a little bit more, huh? 137. Come on, come on, come on. Oh man, this is a 250 kilowatt charger. 167, 178, 186, come on. Slowly, slowly. Maybe, maybe. Ah, only 199. All right, well, it didn't precondition to get here. Battery was plenty warm, I guess, so, but, well, let's go for the bathroom. We are at 64%. It says 10 minutes before we can get going here. And we're all going below 100 kilowatts. That seems pretty slow. I would have expected that to go a bit faster. So right now it estimates 1% in Butte. That is not quite enough. It is 80 miles roughly, or 79 miles to Butte. So if we're using, let's just say 1 kilowatt hour per mile, we need 80 kilowatt hours in the battery, which is roughly 3/4 or 2/3 of the battery. Actually, it's about 2/3 of the battery, so about roughly 66% then, I guess. And so we are now at 65, so we're almost there. So this kind of adds up. It's, I would say at this point this still should be 0. Well, maybe we do better going towards Butte than we did the other way around. So probably in 8 minutes we definitely are ready to go. We should be able to make that relatively easy to Butte at that point. So 2%, 66 is about what we need, about 2/3 of the battery, about 80 kilowatt hours to get there. So we'll wait another 8 minutes. Somewhere my father-in-law is still walking the dog anyway. I got a nasty spot off the windshield. These are really nice chargers here. Thumbs up to Town Pump. Town Pump owns many gas stations here in Montana, and they have several locations with superchargers, and they do have these wash stations right there, and they have garbage cans. So these are nice spots. Those Town Pumps are really nice spots for the supercharger. You get everything here you need, including a casino. What else do you need? Something else I noticed, ride height adjustment is not possible while you're charging. So while I'm plugged in here, I cannot change the ride height on the vehicle. It doesn't allow me. So that's another one thing I noticed. And then, have you ever looked at this thing here? I wonder if you can, I don't know if I can make it sharp enough. I may have to post a picture above here, but if you look at this icon, look at the tongue of this trailer. What is that supposed to mean with this tongue going up? Leave your comment down below and tell me, why is this tongue going up like that? What are your thoughts on it? All right, we're about to leave 70%. It's only going at 78 kilowatts. That's pretty darn slow. But so I changed here real quick to home. Here it still says 5 minutes. That's kind of odd. But Butte Supercharger, it says 1 hour and 5 minutes charge time. And then we could make it home, or actually to Missoula, and add another 10 minutes. I'm not sure if this is Butte Supercharger, so I assume this is the 150 kilowatt charger. We should be able to reach Rocker real easy because they're only a few miles apart, and that's a 250, so we should be able to cut that time down low. So, and it just switched here, and now it says calculating. So it just switched. Basically, we have enough charge to make it to Butte at this point, and then we'll see once we get to Butte what it says. I think the navigation is a little bit unsure about this whole thing here with the trailer. That could probably use some more improvements here. But as we know, we're gonna be 1,000 watt-hours per mile or less, so 1 kilowatt-hour or less per mile. So according to that, we can calculate our own, basically. Since we have 123, or let's just say 120 kilowatt-hours in the battery, we gotta go 80 miles roughly. It's a 79, so I say 80, so that would be 2/3. 2/3 is about 66-67% that we need. We have 72, so at this point we should definitely come in with about 4 or 5, 6 extra percent, something like that. We'll see. I mean, we definitely use less than 1,000, so it shouldn't really be a problem at all. And it popped up here, it made up its mind that it has enough charge and we can get going. We just need to get the father-in-law and the dog loaded up so we can really get going. All right, we're ready to go. 77% right now. It estimates 17% arrival in Butte, 73 miles. So that shouldn't be a problem. It is 1:40 and 51 degrees out. Rainy day in Butte, or actually Rocker. We passed the Butte Supercharger and we are in Rocker here. Still 14%. It was pretty much right on. So we are here now, and well, we need to charge a little bit. Let's see here. We gotta navigate home. Whoa, it tells us to charge 1 hour and 5 minutes. It said that last time. I don't know if that's true. It says home minus 78%, 144 miles. That is about correct. We could stop in Missoula if we need more charge, so we have that option to stop there. We'll see. I mean, we'll charge now. We gotta walk the dog, bathroom break, and so on. We'll see how quick this goes or how slow this goes, and we'll go from there. So, but yeah, let's get plugged in. Well, we're going slow here. 48%, 130 kilowatts. This is a 250 kilowatt charger. Not very fast. Should be a little faster, I think. But anyway, this black Model Y is the same black Model Y that was in Belgrade when we left. They were still there. Obviously, they're going 80 or more miles an hour. We're only going 60. So they got here faster. They also have faster charging times, obviously, because they're more efficient. They need less fuel to get here from there, right? So, but we caught up with them, so we're not doing too bad. I would assume this time they will be leaving before us. I mean, we've been here a few minutes, so I would almost think that they're about ready to go. They're going to Seattle, so that means they're going I-90 west, just as we do. They will go through Missoula, so chances are we might see them in Missoula again. It depends a little bit on how they're routed, if they get routed to the actual Missoula charger, or if they get routed to the charger of what they call Missoula North or whatever at the Y by the truck stops, because that's where I have to go, because that's where my father-in-law's car is. So we'll drop him off there. And so the navigation right now says to go all the way home, but like I said, we probably have to stop, or we have to stop at the Y anyway, and there's a charger, so I might plug in there, and we may just not wait this whole time here that it says. I mean, it still says an hour 15 minutes remaining to continue trip. That is a lot. I think it wants to charge to 100%, and I don't think that is necessary, especially because we're going downhill. Now let's look at the stats here real quick. So since last charge, we drove 79 miles, used 73 kilowatt hours, an hour and 25 minutes, and we averaged 925. Now that brings our trip to 911 watt hours per mile, and we have almost 200 miles right now, so that is not bad here. I was hoping it would drop even lower. I don't know, we'll see. Now from here to Missoula we got about 2,000 feet elevation drop, so we're kind of going downhill. So I'm wondering if we can get this below 900 watt hours per mile, and how far below, not sure. We'll see. It is a little chilly out. It is only 46 degrees right now, so it is a little colder than what it was on the way here. On the way here we were in the 60s, low 70s, so we didn't really need any heat. We maybe had some air conditioning needs there, but it was from that standpoint it was relatively efficient. We didn't need much there. So now today we obviously got some heat needs, and I will use a little bit more. Even with this having a heat pump, it will obviously use more than not running anything. So like at 65-70 degrees, especially if it's cloudy, there's no real heat pump or AC needed. You can just bring outside air in, or very little AC or heat pump would be needed. But at about 40 to 50 degrees there is some heat needed, so the heat pump has to be going. That uses a little bit, but we'll see. I would love to drop under the 900 watt hours per mile, that's for sure. 850 would be nice, so we'll see. But yeah, at this point we gotta wait here. It's only 3:25. It's not time for dinner. It's not really time for lunch either. We had a big breakfast, don't really feel hungry. Walked the dog already, so we are kind of stuck at this point right here. There is not too much to do here at this spot. So if we would have stopped in town just a few miles earlier, it's only 150 charger there, 150 kilowatts, but from there we could have walked to many different places. There's a lot of stuff around there, little stores and things. It's right next to the mall. Not that the mall is that great anymore in Butte, but there would be more opportunities to do things than here, unless you're into gambling. There's a casino right over here. So we'll see. Time will go by either way. We don't have no choice. We need some fuel. We're at 57% now. It still says an hour and 10 minutes. I think it wants to go to 100% to make it home. And so what we can do real quick here is bring this down. We end this trip, bring up the chargers here. Let's see, Missoula, where is the other Missoula? Supercharger Missoula 250 right there. All right, so now it says 45 minutes to continue trip instead of an hour 15. So we just cut off half an hour of charging right here by saying we're going there. And currently it does say here we would arrive there with minus 20, well now minus 22, and we are at 58, so 60, 80, about 80%, huh? So if we have 80%, we will get there with 0, empty. So we need a little bit more than 80. And that's the problem. Getting to 80 is not too terrible, even though with the Cybertruck seems a bit slow. But then from 80 on up, it's charging so slow, it will take a long time. So we'll keep this as low as possible. Still, the vehicle, the navigation, I'm sure estimates a little different here at higher speeds possibly. I'm not sure how good this estimation is. Coming here was pretty good. It was almost right on, or pretty much right on. We just went to a different charger. So going from here to Missoula, we may be able to do better than what the navigation here is estimating, but not 100% sure. There is no chargers anywhere. As we come closer to Missoula, there is the option of a couple campgrounds, but we don't really want to do that. We'd like to get home. So, well, we got a little ways to go here, and It's dropping. We're only 108 now. So it'll be a little bit before we get going. Okay, we're at 91%, says 8 minutes remaining. We're only going at 59 here. It estimates arrival at about 9% at the Y, so we get going. We got 28 miles to go and we're showing 0. Up here it just popped up, but it's gone now. Charging needed to reach the destination. We have 19% left and 27 miles to go, so we may have to slow down a little bit to make it to this supercharger. And this is the supercharger out at the Y, so we could even stop in about 7 miles earlier at about 20 miles. And 20 miles we should be able to make, but we'll see. We may slow down a little bit if we have to. Dropped already to 15% here. We're down to 23 miles. It shows -1. So we'll bring our speed down here about 5 miles an hour. And see what that will do for us. All right, we're now at 948. We were a little higher. It was like 970, 980. So dropping the speed helped. So we'll see if we can make it. All right, it shows -2% now, 17 miles to go. We got 11% left, so maybe we'll drop to 50 to save a little extra. And we'll see. All right, dropped the speed a while back to the 50. Now this dropped consumption to 936. So we got a little bit better, but well, we're down to 7%. Now let me show you what this says here. This says this is 21 miles. And that's how people get in trouble, because they look at the mileage up here, which is not accurate. This is a fuel gauge, not a range gauge. So we'll go back. We're at 6% now, and here we are still showing arrival -2. This is now at the closer supercharger, so we got 10 miles to go, and we'll see if we can make it. We're dropping quick. We're down at -3 arrival. We are at 4% right now. We may have to do another charge stop real quick here in downtown, unhook the trailer and get into the structure there to put a little juice in at the level 2 to make it all the way. I mean, we're almost there, just a couple miles short maybe. making an extra stop here, so we're at 2% and we're like so close, but it still predicts -3. Chances are we could make it, but we're gonna drop the trailer real quick. There's a parking structure right up there that has a level 2 charger. We'll spend about 10 minutes or so there, and then we should be able to make it. So don't want to risk it right now. It is 5:59 on a Friday. It's 50 degrees out right now, but it's rush hour traffic, so I don't want to get stuck here. So we'll just drop the trailer real quick. That'll be real easy with the air suspension. It's much easier to drop the trailer anyway. Here we go, level 2 charger here in the parking structure in Missoula. 7 kilowatts, 18 hours remaining. We got here with 2%. We were only 4 miles away from where we needed to go, but we didn't want to take the risk. It's too late to take risks here. So, but well, we need to go to the bathroom anyway, so we'll go here to the bathroom real quick, and then we'll pick the trailer back up here shortly. We'll stay here for 15 minutes or so. We're charged up to 4%. We are 4.3 miles away. Now it says we got 2% left, but we were at -3. That would mean basically we would arrive with 1. So we gotta go pick up the trailer real quick and get to the supercharger. What side for sore eyes? Tesla Supercharger. Made it here with 1%, so we are, it still says, oh, this is going to the other one at the Y. That would be -4. So we still couldn't have made it to the Y, but here we can charge much faster than in town. At town it's 7 kilowatt. Here we should max out, hopefully close to 150. So we can spend a few minutes here, then I'll drive over. It's just about 7 miles or so. Actually, it's a 6 miles right there. So, and that's where my father-in-law's car is. So then he can get out and go home on his way while I wait till we have about, I don't know, 25-30%, so I can make it home from there. But now let's get plugged in here. We are revving up. It kind of sounds like a jet plane here under the hood. I think the battery pack is plenty warm, and it is running the fans here, so it's cooling it, I guess. 134 kilowatts. I was hoping a little bit more. I mean, 140 would have been 20 times what we just got. But in any event, we're almost 20 times faster than where we just were, so it should only take a few minutes here to get enough so we can make it over to the next supercharger here about 6 or 7 miles away. So yeah, shouldn't be a long wait. And anyway, my father-in-law had to go to the bathroom again, so yeah, we probably had too much coffee today. We had coffee at home, coffee for breakfast, and now here we are. So yeah, interesting trip so far. I'm not sure why we used so much coming this way. Usually we are 10 to 20% better coming from Butte to Missoula this way. Now, going there on our trip to Island Park, it was between 65 and 70 degrees. Coming back, we were between 30 and maybe 50, 55. Right now it's 49 here in Missoula. Also, for some time there was actually wind. We had headwind coming towards Missoula, so that affected us pretty big. Well, that trailer is really not aerodynamic, so I think that's where we lost most of it. But well, we're learning as we go. What would be perfect is a charger about halfway somewhere. That would be nice. Actually, Deer Lodge is supposed to get a charger at the town pump there. I don't know what happened. It's supposed to be there as far as I know, but it's not. So that would be nice, because then we could make it from Butte to Deer Lodge, top off, and then keep going. Or the other direction, we could make it to Deer Lodge and top off and go to Butte real easy. And Deer Lodge actually has a Chinese or Asian restaurant right there, and my daughter loves their noodles. They have orange noodles. We call them orange noodles. People call them chow mein, but it's not the chow mein. The chow mein, that lady explained to us, are hard noodles. These are soft noodles. But regardless, my daughter loves them. If we could charge that, if we could charge there in town and eat, that would be perfect. Well, we're going here while we're flying. 5 kilowatt hours are already in. We are already at 5%. So basically, as soon as my father-in-law gets back, we'll get over to the supercharger at the Y and fill enough to make it home. For home, it tells us here 15 more minutes, and then we could go on. We're going decent here at about 137 still, so, but yeah, it currently shows minus 10%, so we need about 20% to make it. But I think, oh, I thought my father-in-law is back. But there's actually somebody taking a picture out there. But I think as soon as he gets back, we get over to the Y, because he kind of wants to get home. It's now past 7 p.m. It's 7:06, so he'd like to get home. He's got another few miles to go up the hill there, so I want to get him over to his car as quickly as possible. But he's not back yet, and maybe if we hit 20% here before he gets back, then I literally just have to unload him there. I could plug in for another probably 5 minutes while we unload, get his stuff out in the dog out, and get even more. So, and we do have free supercharging right now, so I might as well take advantage of the 2 months of free supercharging that we have, and yeah, use Tesla's money there. I mean, we paid enough for the truck, so I don't feel bad, and they can't install our power share anyway, so I'm totally fine with using Tesla's money for charging. So anyway, yeah, we are at 9%. It says -8 for home, so yeah, about 20% we could make it. So yeah, well, I'll wait for my father-in-law, then we'll see where we're at and go from there. Time flies when you're having fun. We're already at 24%. It's 7:16, 49 degrees out. Well, my father-in-law came back, needed to smoke, somebody pulled up, so we talked, and so we got plenty of charging. It was fun. We have one Model Y behind us, so my father-in-law is back there, making sure I don't hit him, because I got to back up. Well, a little bit. We're right up against here the power cabinets, so well, let's go. Just dropped my father-in-law off here. I didn't plug in. We're at 18%. Currently it says 5% arrival at home. It's 21 miles. We got about 21 kilowatt hours in the battery, so I think I should be able to make it. I'm gonna take the back way just to go a little bit slower. Yeah, just don't want to get stuck, obviously, but I want to see if we can make it with 18% with the trailer on it. Usually 18% wouldn't be a big deal, but with the trailer it may be a little bit different, as we noticed. All right, we're getting on the interstate here for the last little stretch. We did the frontage road from Missoula out for about, whatever, I don't know, 20 miles or so. We got to get on the interstate real quick so we don't have to drive through the forest. It's been showing 5% arrival at home, so we can definitely floor it here. We don't even need to floor it. That's not the right term. We just accelerate up to 60 and get on the interstate real quick here. But it's been an interesting trip, and as we're getting to the end here, I want to point out that it is possible. It wasn't super fast. It had definitely inconvenience and wait time. It took way longer than if we would have driven our diesel truck. But point is, people say you can't do it, you can't make it, it's impossible. Well, no, it's not. We can make it, we did it, it is possible. So yes, it had inconveniences and we had wait time and it took way longer, but it's possible. So now that said, with improvements with the infrastructure of charging, this will become a lot easier. If we could have charged about halfway between here and Butte, have a decent fast charger, even if it's not a supercharger, but if we can charge the truck somewhere halfway, that would be key, because we could stop for a relatively short time and then make it. We wouldn't have to charge above 80% either in Missoula going to Butte or in Butte going back to Missoula. So it would be way easier if we could charge halfway, and charge time would be cut drastically. We did drive slower. We only went 60 miles an hour on the interstate. With the diesel truck, we usually did about 60 or 65. So we went a little faster. We can't go too fast because the trailer tires, the one pair is a speed rating L, which I believe is like 70 or 75. So can't go too fast anyway. And the trailer is fully loaded, so we don't want to blow up any tires. But anyway, it does take longer. But traveling at 60 miles an hour in this truck, it's so peaceful, so quiet, and you don't feel the trailer back there at all in regards to steering or going over bumps. It's not pulling on the truck or anything. I mean, it was such an easy drive. It was not hard to drive at all. I mean, I would let my daughter drive this real easy, and she would probably be in heaven driving this compared to when she had to drive our Dodge diesel with the truck. Dodge diesel with the trailer, sorry. So she would be in heaven driving this. This wouldn't be a problem at all. She wouldn't even know this. So yeah, towing is amazing with this vehicle. It would be nice if we would have at least navigate on autopilot on these long stretches, and it would be definitely nice if we would have more charging when towing this trailer, and it would be nice to have trailer spaces for charging. We got lucky and we were able to just pull in and kind of block some of the spaces, and we never had to move. People were really nice and they didn't block us. They made sure they parked behind us so we can pull out forward. It was a pleasant experience. So yes, it can be done. Yes, it has definite inconveniences. It takes longer. Now the question is, would I take my diesel truck next time, or would I still take the Cybertruck to tow? And I tell you what, I would still take the Cybertruck. Yes, it takes longer. I mean, it took 2.5, 3 hours longer, something like that. But I still would take this truck because it was such a pleasant experience. With the diesel, they're just loud, and yeah, especially our diesel that is old. And with the prices of diesel, it's not cheap with a diesel truck to do this trip. And you got to pay attention where you fill up too, because if you actually go to Idaho, it's going to be even more expensive. So yeah, I would definitely take the truck again. It's been such a pleasant experience. I'm wondering if I would put the snowmobile trailer behind this. How would that be? The snowmobile trailer is much lighter. It doesn't have a huge front wall like this cargo trailer. So we probably could get better fuel efficiency, which means we would have more range, which means we could maybe take the short way. So on this trip, we went from Island Park up to Bozeman and then took I-90. And that by itself adds about an hour. But we done that before with the diesel truck, just so we don't drive the same stretch again over and over and over again. So going in one way, coming out the other way is what we commonly done with the diesel truck or with the car. With the car, it doesn't matter. We can go either way with the Model 3. That's not a problem at all. We got plenty of range there. So, but yeah, so it was not unusual that we go up to Bozeman at least one of the two ways. It depends a little bit if we want to be faster or not, right? Because it's about an hour difference. So now also, I don't know what made the huge difference. Usually coming from Butte to Missoula, we do 10 to 20% better with any EV, except for the Cybertruck with the trailer behind it. I'm not sure how it would be without the trailer, but even in bad weather and stuff in the wintertime, we done 10 to 20% better with the regular cars, with the regular electric cars. For some reason, the Cybertruck didn't do better. I don't know why. I compare it to going the opposite direction, I guess. And the opposite direction, it was warmer, it was nice weather, there was no rain, so no lights on. We didn't need really any heat. I mean, yeah, the climate control was on, but there was really no heat or air conditioning needed, so it didn't have to do much going to Butte. And so I expected coming back we would do better, at least 10%, but we didn't. And maybe the reason is because temperatures were quite a bit lower, somewhere around freezing up to 50-55 degrees, right? That may have affected it. We also had some wind. There was some headwinds at times, so I'm not sure. I guess we'll need to try again. Oh, I actually had to step on the brake for this one. So yeah, we need to try again and see how it does in different weather. Obviously, in the summertime, if it's even warmer, is it gonna do much better, or is it gonna be about the same? The thing is, we usually don't tow this trailer to Island Park unless we need it. We don't do that for fun. We're not in a place like some other YouTubers where we have the time and money to just tow trailers around and have fun with that. It would be nice, but we don't. We actually have to have a purpose for all this stuff. So the chances are that we will not be towing this trailer to Island Park again until maybe the end of the year in fall, when it's cold again. And then we'll have a similar experience as now, other than that we know now we pretty much need 100% to make it from Missoula to Butte and 100% to make it from Butte to Missoula. So until they have more chargers, we gotta do the full charge all the way and just wait till it's there, because, well, yeah, we left early in Butte with just some 90 or just above, a little over 90%, and well, 100% would have gotten us to the Supercharger. So we ended up spending more time because we had to unhook the trailer, got a couple kilowatt hours in at a level 2 to make it then to the next Supercharger. So yeah, so we probably would have been better off just fully charged to 100% in Butte before going. Well, we'll learn, right? But we made it, and it could have been that we could have driven to the Supercharger, even though it's at minus 3%. Possibility is that we could have made it, but we were really just below 1 kilowatt hour per mile, so chances are that we maybe didn't make it, wouldn't have made it, because I don't know how much buffer we have or if we even have any. And I really didn't want to push it on this trip with having my father-in-law. He was already getting a little tired. It's been a long trip again, and he wanted to get home before it gets pitch dark, and so did I. So we didn't want to get stuck and stranded. I mean, we could always have called AAA and they could have towed us, right? But that was not what we wanted, so we played it safe and just, yeah, took the extra time for charging. Now, yeah, we'll see. We got to do this trip again with the truck only, so then we could even see how good or bad it does without the trailer. I suspect it's gonna do way better based on our trips to Spokane. So yeah, I'm looking forward to driving this truck more. It's been a pleasure driving this truck. I think we should get rid of these tires, these knobby all-season, all-terrain tires. Are really not that great for any truck or any vehicle to drive on the road, and they don't help efficiency. So I think we should get rid of those tires, and probably our efficiency would improve. Also, it would probably run a little bit smoother and quieter, or even smoother and quieter than it does now. I mean, I'm really surprised how good it does with those tires on it. So yeah, we're about to approach home, and then when we'll get home, we'll look at the stats one last time, and then that will be it for this video. So we got about a mile and a half to go on the dirt road here. It says expected arrival 4% now. It started at 4 or 5. It went up and down a little in the beginning, but we were about right. But I was taking the frontage road, so I was going slower too. We were going 45, 50-ish on the frontage road. So, all right, I'll see you in a couple minutes at home. Well, we made it home, and well, the battery is very low according to this. So now we gotta get our stuff out of the car here, and there's always this mess with all these cables here, and we used to have a ton more of those for our stuff that we need to charge until we found these. These are so cool. They're magnetic, and they want to coil up like this and stick together like this, and you can get them in different colors, different length. Whoa, it got dark in here, for your cell phone, for other stuff with different USB connectors, USB-A, USB-Cs. This one has the lightning for a Apple phone, for an iPhone, right? Yeah, so we started using these here, these MagTame magnetic charging data cables. They're really cool. Like I said, different colors, and they come in different length here. So there's this one here is silver and was 2 meters long. We have this black one here. This here is 1.5 meters long, and it's black. And I think on this one they also have a blue and the silver. So there's multiple different colors and things available, length, and they're really cool because they coil up so nicely, and then you just throw them in your bag or into the glove box here or center console or whatever. So we highly recommend those MagTame cables right here. And because we love them so much, we asked the company if we can get a discount for our viewers. And so down below in the description there is a link and the discount code, so you can get 10% off MagTame magnetic charging data cables. So go check that out. These are really cool, and you always need charging cables because your passengers cannot use the wireless charging up front unless you pull your phone out. So these MagTames get a thumb up from us. They're really cool. We like them. We got to get more. I'm going to put them in all our cars. Because we always need charging cables for everything. You know, everything is on USB cables nowadays, right? So, but anyway, we made it home with 4%. It is 8:11 and 48 degrees right now. And let's look at the trips here. Where is it? So, total distance for today is 343 miles. Used 310 kilowatt hours. Wow. And we averaged 904 for the total trip. So 904 is a little bit better than going there, but it's not as good as I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be more like 850. So now that said, since let's see, the last charge here, that was in Missoula at the Supercharger, that's 27 miles. Since then we were going slow. It was only 833. And then the current drive from the Y on, I was going pretty slow, well, 45, 50 miles an hour. That was 749. I mean, if we could get 749 at 60 miles an hour, that would be cool, but that's not the key. So at 60 miles an hour, we seem to be between 900 and 1000 watt hours per mile with these temperatures we're having, regardless which direction we're going, I guess. So that trailer back here probably messes up the aerodynamics so much that we can't, that elevation maybe doesn't even really matter so much anymore. That's kind of what it looks like at this point, but until we drive more and we really know, until we learn more, we don't know. So also our total here, we got now 2,331 miles on it and used a total of 1,433 kilowatt hours, and this trip brought the average up quite a bit, almost basically about 200 watt hours per mile. So yes, towing a trailer is tough. So but we made it. It's possible, but I told you all my thoughts already, so I think this is it for today. I want to get inside, maybe have some dinner, watch some TV, and go to bed. In any event, thank you for watching. Goodbye.